And okay,
And
are you ready?
action. The Infinity
Hello,
Cube. I'm sorry.
leave it in. It's always like this at the beginning. We never know what's happening. Anyways, hello everyone. Welcome back to the Squeaky Floorboard Society. I'm Megan,
I'm Sage.
and you're back with us for season 2. We're how many episodes is this in now? This will be like our 5th.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, because
Yes, it'd
I
be
did.
our fifth.
Yeah, yes, 5th episode. Before we get into the, I'm so sorry to everyone who's watching this instead of just listening. I'm really pale today. You might be going blind right now. Sage and I were talking about this before it even started, trying to figure out why I look like that. But before we get started, Sage, anything you want to share?
I fought a printer today.
I hate printers. Go on.
Here are my scars for those watching. I went to go change the ink cartridge and it exploded.
That's crazy.
I got most of it off, but now I just got like black fingerprints. Looks like I went and got like fingerprinting done.
Have you committed a crime?
Almost against my printer.
Dude, what is it with modern printers? Why don't they ever work or function like they're supposed to or be easy to use?
Mine updated and now it says that the ink cartridges that are in there are non-recognizable. So if I burn my printer, we know why.
My printer won't even turn on for some reason. It's not even old. It's like a year old.
That's about as old as mine is.
Mine just decided one day it didn't want to work anymore. And the printer I had before that, like my dad was super excited. He's like, I found you this awesome printer. And it would never connect. You had to use an app in order to use my
That's
printer. And it would never connect to the app ever under any circumstances.
Mine has an app that I like can like do updates, check like how my ink's doing and all of that. And I like having the app so I can see how much ink I have and it also shows me how much I'm wasting.
Right.
But it won't let me be like these are the ink cartridges you needed. I ordered them from the app. So what do you mean they're not recognizable?
It means it doesn't, it means they're not recognizable.
I know it's making me angry. I could cry.
That would piss me off so bad. I I have a, you know what, fuck it, I'm name dropping them. I have a brother printer. Brother printers, if you're listening, please send me a new printer. I don't know what's wrong with mine. I'll give you a shout out on the podcast.
I have
While you're at it, how about a 3D printer?
oh no, what's that? What's the company? Oh, I never mind. I lost the name of the company.
I, I had it for a second and then I also lost it. I'll actually give you a shout out. I won't
Oh,
forget. It starts with a P.
it does start with the P. I was gonna say Peruvian, but that's not it.
Prusso! Prusso! It's Prusso!
I guess
Or Prusso. Prusso.
there's one thing that we haven't talked about on the podcast yet. Unless you want
Oh,
to
the
save it for.
fact that we both went to see Iron Lung.
Yep,
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
I did too. I was like, I don't think we've recorded since we went and watched it.
Did did Dennis go with you?
No, girl from work did.
Oh. Uh I brought Daryl and he's not a Markiplier fan at all. He doesn't give a shit. He's not one of the people that I have a hair stuck to my eyelashes really bad. Um he's just not somebody that Daryl's ever given a shit about.
Yeah.
And the other day he told me, he's like, you know what? Because I said I think he's gonna make another movie, probably. Just not right now. And he was like, you know what? He should stick to gaming movies. He said, because I want somebody to actually do a good Silent Hill movie. And I was like, you think he could do a good Silent Hill? And Daryl was like, yeah, based on what I saw, yeah, I think he could do a great Silent Hill.
Yeah, I could see that.
He's gonna do Resident Evil, but he's only gonna do Village for Lady D.
Yeah. Who would play Lady D?
Wait.
Yes. I need someone to draw that. Please. I need to see.
But yeah, no, I bald and all. Not even gonna put a wig on him, just a hat. But yeah, I was impressed. I thought it was good. I think if you look, I understand that that kind of movie isn't for everyone. Some people just require a little more upfront action. and
Yeah.
they need things a little more spelled out for them, and that's fine. Nothing wrong with that. You're not stupid. I've seen people like, you're stupid if you didn't like Iron Lung. You're not stupid. It's just not your cup of tea.
Yeah.
I think Robert Eggers is a phenomenal director, and I love his movies. But like, The Witch isn't going to appeal to everyone. It's just not.
Yeah.
Anytime you get into the more higher atmospheric, esoteric filmmaking, it's just not going to be everyone's cup of tea.
Yeah. So, I liked it, and typically I'm not someone that would like something like that. But when I tell
Right.
you, I sat there just like the entire time until I ran out of
How in-
popcorn.
how invested were you when he took his shirt off?
The level of which the theater I was in screamed.
The scream they scrumped.
It
I would
was
look. It's not for me. It's not for me because he's not hairy. I don't like a man with no body hair. It weaks me out. But he's nice.
he so many girls screamed that it actually scared me because I was not prepared
More than the movie.
because it was it was just so loud because we it was packed. Like
There was nobody. There was nobody in our theater, dude. It was us and like two other couples. And unfortunately, when the other two couples walked in, because the lights were still on, obviously, Daryl goes, "Yeah, they look like they're here to see a Markiplier movie." I don't know what that means, but
ours was packed. Like there were
yeah,
people
there was
coming in and
nobody.
standing.
Yeah, there was nobody, but they had a bunch of showings. And like, also, I think part of it too is the parking lot to the theater wasn't plowed. The theater itself was dead. Like, I think the only people that were there were people who were seeing Iron Lung.
I believe that.
Like, that's the only people that I think were in the whole theater. I didn't even hear anything in the other theaters, if I'm being completely honest. I think they were only playing movies that people were showing up to.
Which would be fair, because yeah, we that was still whenever the snow was really bad. We're supposed to be getting hit with another winter storm over here.
I heard that. I heard 8 feet of snow, and I was like, that can't be right.
It's down to 5 now, or 5 inches, 5 feet. I wish.
I was like, Jesus Christ!
I would not be able to walk outside.
You disappear.
I would.
Dennis would be in heaven. It's like when huskies get snow.
He is. He is
He's
definitely
out there
like a
going,
husky.
"Woo!" Like huskies do.
If you guys don't know, my husband is from Russia, and when it snows, that man is out there almost completely naked, just like living his best life.
There's something to tell you. Conversation that Daryl and I had. Speaking of, obviously, Dennis has Russian heritage. So Dennis's Russian heritage reminded me that of a conversation Daryl and I had where we were talking about if we think we would have still been a couple in any other time period.
You
And
would
so
have been burned at the stake.
we were using our heritage to determine this, right? Actually, in like the 1700s, I would have been in Ireland, and they weren't really burning witches in Ireland.
He would have been the one though that they would have been like, definitely.
Yeah. But we were like the early days of America. He's like, well, I would have been native because he's from. I don't remember if he's from the Blackfoot tribe or the Blackfeet tribe. Apparently, there's a difference between Blackfoot and Blackfeet.
I don't know. I know about my tribe, and that's
But like his grandma was like full blooded or something, and it's like, oh god, I would have been some weird little white Irish settler that ended up like with a native dude. And I was like, yeah, imagine Megan. And I said my last name, and Daryl. I can't even say it. I called him Daryl smoking grass.
I love it.
Daryl, the only thing I could come up with was smoking grass.
I I don't think I don't think me and Dennis would have been together. Um,
Possible. Actually, we went into that when we were having our discussion about me being a weird. I said it would actually still make sense though. I said because like there were Russian fur trappers.
yeah. How
It's possible that he could have met you.
yeah. I still need you to know that it's so funny with the his conversation that he brought up the other day.
Genghis Khan. How does it feel?
I was like, I would like to not be a part of this conversation anymore.
I'm uncomfortable with the atmosphere we've created in the Naruto, you cannot come in here! He wants the balloon. My cat wants the balloon that I got for my son. Because my workplace, it's right here actually. Whenever, after there's a holiday, they let people take the balloons home for free to their children because they can't really sell them anymore. So he got this.
Aw.
Naruto wants it so bad. He was T-Rexing on the desk trying to get it.
Aw.
Do you have anything else?
No, I do not.
I've recovered from my surgery for those wondering, and that's all I got today. So we're gonna get into the topic, which is Portlock, Alaska. I don't know
Oh,
why I hesitated so
it's
long.
Alaska. I thought. Never mind. I thought it was
What'd you
Arkansas.
think? So AL is Alabama. I think AR is Arkansas, and AK
It's
is
Alaska.
Alaska. Yeah.
Alabama, Alaska. What is Arizona then?
AZ. It's AZ.
Okay. I can do all of the state song, but don't.
I never learned the state song. My school just didn't do that. And so when we had to memorize, we just had to like raw dog it for our states test. We just had to know what that
That's
shit was and where it
crazy.
was. Yeah. I went to private school though. Standards were a little higher.
Actually,
They
I
didn't teach you the fun song that makes it easy to
I
remember.
don't
They're like,
think
"It's
we
here."
I don't think we were taught the song. I don't know why I know it, but I don't.
I
Oh,
know some of it from TikTok.
I think I learned it on TikTok, and it just got stuck in my head, so I had to listen to it over and over and over
Oh,
again.
just tangling my hair. I worked today. I'm still in my work clothes, so
I
I'm
did
not.
not
My
work
hair is a
today.
mess. Lucky you. My hair's a mess. My face a mess. But what comes to mind when you think of Alaska? Alaska is just one of those places that conjures up a certain imagery. The cold, barren frontier broken up by cities sparsely dotted across it, rugged mountain men in their cabin settlements, and wildlife mostly untouched by man. I bet none of you thought of Bigfoot killing people when you thought of Alaska, and that's exactly what we're talking about today.
Oh my!
Today, yeah! Yeah!
I love that. Oh my god!
Today, we are visiting the ghost town of Portlock, Alaska to dig into its history and abandonment and all the funny business surrounding it. There's quite a bit more to this story than I initially thought looking into it.
I'm so excited.
Yeah,
You threw me
I
for an entire loop, and I love it.
I have to give credit. I did not know about Portlock until I saw a video a good while ago from Lore Lodge on YouTube. They did a really good video on Portlock. You should probably watch theirs, honestly, if you're watching this. They do a way better job than we do. I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. It's just his, I think he went to school for like history and stuff, so he knows how to like do this research. Because
Okay.
history degrees are a lot of research.
Yeah.
I have my degree's in accounting.
Mine's in
I'm not
psychology.
research. I'm not you're researching shit. I'm not researching anything.
I'm
They're just giving me
researching
numbers.
a lot. Right. Well, right now my research is a lot of human sexuality.
Oh, chicka bow wow.
Literally.
Hit him with the brown chicken, brown cow. So before we go into Bigfoot killing people, potentially, we're gonna go into the history of Portlock, and it's got an interesting history, honestly. So Portlock, Alaska, is located in the Kenai Peninsula. Captain Nathaniel Portlock landed there with his crew in 1785, but did not stay for long. His crew became ill shortly after discovering an abandoned native settlement. While it was likely that they were just ill with scurvy, they took it as a bad omen. They departed sick and fearful. That didn't stop others from settling it later on, though. In the early 1900s, people began to settle down in Portlock. While the very first residents were natives, later on most of these people were Russo Aleuts, and this would be the case for the entirety of the time that Portlock existed. For those wondering, the Russo Aleut population existed there due to Russians settling Alaska during the reign of Peter the Great, as he sought to modernize Russia and then they mingled with the native Aleutian populations.
I actually know about Peter the Great, believe it or not.
You know what? I'm so proud of you.
I
Do you know
only
any? Go ahead.
the only reason I know this or who he is because for the first week of my Spanish class, we had to look up what our last name meant.
That's crazy.
So, but
No,
he
that's actually crazy.
he brought the name and the term fir tree, which is to Russia. So there's my little.
Yeah, that's a fun fact. That's a
uh,
really fun fact. Do you know anything about the Aleutian people?
no,
I read a book in middle school. Can't tell you what it was called. It was for a class, and it was about an Aleutian girl diving for abalone, and there was like some otters. Like she gets separated from her people. If anyone knows what this book is called, please let me know because I think about it every once in a while and it bugs the shit out of
it
me, but
made
I
me
can't remember what it's called.
think of the whale girl or something like that. Or never
That's
mind,
definitely
ignore
not it.
me. Ignore me.
The Whale Girl,
I will.
starring Brendan Fraser. Just the Whale Girl.
I will look it up while you talk.
So, what was I? Oh, America bought Alaska from Russia in 1867, and due to the new American interest in Alaska, Portlock was set up as a cannery town. In 1921, it gained a post office, and in 1940, it appeared in the U.S. Census for the first time. It was never a huge town, but it had enough people to run the cannery as well as their families. So, we've got a mixed population there, just a mixed bag of people, mostly Russo Aleuts, which means there's Russian folklore there, there's Aleutian folklore there.
Do they have Baba
Uh,
Yaga?
I do not know if they had Old Chicken Feet house. I know it's Baba Yaga, but I'm so American. My brain's like, Baba Yaga! I can't help it. So now we're going to get into the mystery. And the mystery starts pretty much as soon as the town is set up. So the mystery begins early on with native cannery workers in 1905. The workers abandoned their work and the cannery closed early for the season due to strange happenings in the forest. What those happenings were is not super clear, but they definitely believe something in the forest was harassing them. In the 1930s, another series of mysterious events began to plague the residents. Did you find it?
I did.
What is it?
And there is a whale mentioned, but it's the Island of the Blue Dolphins. That's the book I was thinking of.
It's what I read!
Okay, so I did read that in school.
I knew it. I knew someone would know. So in the 1930s, another series of mysterious events began to plague the residents. Hairy creatures were sighted in the tree line. Hunters and gold miners would go out into the woods and never return, their bodies often lost. When bodies weren't lost, they often just washed up in the lagoon, beat the fuck up, or they were just found ripped to pieces.
That's scary.
Let's be real, bears can do that.
Yeah,
There are bears in Alaska.
there are.
But it gets weirder. Bodies were found, and they just had no idea who they even were because nobody was missing. And then hunters also discovered 18-inch footprints in the snow at one point, leading to the sight of a struggle between a large creature of some kind and a moose, and the creature had won. The moose was dead.
Aw,
For those of you who've never seen a moose,
those fuckers are
I
huge.
I encourage you to go look up videos of mooses next to cars, because until you see a moose next to like a big truck, you have no idea how big a moose actually is.
Yeah.
Moose are gigantic.
Mm-hmm.
So if anything that can kill a moose in a hand-to-hand combat situation, it's a little
I'm
scary.
gonna fact check a
That's a
fact
big
that
guy.
I have about mooses, but I'm gonna fact check my fact.
While you're fact checking your fact, I'm going to tell you that my mom asked me the other day if the plural of moose was mooses or meeses or meese. I said, "What do you think, girl?" She also was talking to my son, and she was trying to go ahead with your facts. I see you getting excited.
Continue your story. I'll tell you.
So you're going to laugh because you know what my mom's like.
Just continue that story. Like start back in the beginning.
Okay, so my mom was talking to my son, and she's uh she's telling him about space, right? And she yells into me and my dad. She goes, "Is it a
You
planet?"
cut out completely.
Oh, she goes, "The sun, is it a star or a planet?" We said, "Oh my god."
Mama.
She goes, "Well, I just want to make sure before I tell him because I don't want to tell him wrong." I said, "Why would that be something you needed to check to make sure you had right?" I said, "Which is it?" She goes, "Well, I think it's a star." Yes, Mom, it's a star.
Oh my
My dad,
goodness.
my dad forces her to watch all his like astronomy shows with him. I don't know how she doesn't know that.
She's not paying attention, clearly.
She's not. She's on her phone.
So, would you like to know one of the predators of the moose?
Yes,
Orcas.
that makes perfect sense. I've heard that before.
I love that fact so much.
Because it seems like it wouldn't be true, but it is indeed true because moose do go near places where orcas live and orcas will just snatch their ass up.
I also need everyone to know that the humans are the last predator, not one of the top ones.
Yeah, I mean, not that many people are hunting moose.
Yeah.
Because moose are big and really dangerous to hunt, actually.
I think there's still like moose season, but I don't
Yeah.
think it's just like any most of the other seasons.
Well, it's moose are herbivores. They have a lot of other predators besides humans. It's
Yeah.
not like with like it's not like with like bears, right? Like what the hell is hunting a bear besides a person or another bear?
Yeah.
If something else is hunting a bear, it better be Dogman.
Literally.
There was a
Wolverine
Mothman. There was a Mothman sighting in Bloomington.
was there?
There was an actual verified Mothman sighting in Bloomington, Indiana. And then they had a tornado.
Oh my gosh.
Nobody died, but it did demolish the Humane Society.
Yeah. I saw.
Yeah.
All
I,
right.
s- I thought I thought about things coming back to Dogman, which made me think of things coming back to
Back to
Mothman,
Mothman.
which reminded me that there was indeed a Mothman sighting. You should look it up.
I
It's
will have
crazy.
to. All right, but you may
Oh,
continue. Sorry.
that's okay. I'm glad you shared that fact. Actually, that's a fun one. So, one of the most baffling and frightening unexplained occurrences happened in 1931. Logger Andrew Kamluck was killed while working, but not in a way you would expect. How do you think this guy died?
A log fell on him.
So it would make sense, right? Well, actually, he was hit in the back of the head with a very large piece of logging equipment.
Oh.
It caved his head in, and he was killed instantly.
At least he was killed instantly. And didn't
Right,
have to
which is great.
suffer.
No, it's not great. It's not great, but I'm glad he didn't suffer.
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
At least you
But
got
this
suffer.
logging.
Oh, sorry.
Wait, what? At least he got
Wait.
suffered.
No, you said suffer, but I said stuffer. And I would realize that. I was like, oh, at least you were able to say it. I said stuffer.
So this logging equipment was much too large and heavy to be lifted by one or even two people. There was blood up to 10 feet away on one of the cranes from the attack. So something just picked up this piece of logging equipment and beat him in the head with it.
Damn.
And it had to be something big.
That's.
I'm not quite sure what the logging equipment was because that wasn't specified. I saw something that said it was a crane, but which I guess you could take the crane arm and hit a guy in the head with it. It's not the kind of crane you're thinking of, probably, because I did look it up. They're smaller because they're just used for logs, and
Yeah.
they're meant to be fairly portable. But
I worked in a sawmill. I saw what the deforestation part of it looked like.
oh, yeah, no, that I forgot about that. I didn't know what these cranes look like. I was picturing like a construction crane,
No.
and that's not what they are at all.
Furthest from it.
So yeah, but you okay? So you since you do know what they look like, imagine the force it would take to swing the arm of that.
Yeah. That's. I don't. I feel like Bigfoot
Unless
wouldn't have enough strength.
but I also feel like Bigfoot probably wouldn't have the technical knowledge to operate it to swing the arm either.
Yeah.
He'd have to use brute force.
So,
So I don't know.
murder?
It may not have been a crane at all. I don't know what the piece of logging equipment was. I couldn't find anything 100% verified on that.
Okay.
So it could have been the world's biggest chainsaw for all I know.
Or the back of a hatch or like an axe.
Well, it said it was very big and very heavy. That one man wouldn't have been able to lift.
Okay.
I guess there's only so much logging equipment in the 1900s. I probably could have narrowed it down to a few things if I'd really tried.
Yeah.
Uh, no. Okay. There were also the sightings. One man claimed to see a large, hairy man destroying fish wheels. More than one person claimed to see a large, shadowy creature stalking the woods. These sightings, combined with the disappearances, bodies in the lagoon, and everything else, led to whispers of the Nantinak. I'm so sorry to people if I mispronounce this. The Nantinak is a Bigfoot type creature, but it is different from Bigfoot in that it seems to have a more supernatural quality. Bigfoot tends to be a little more flesh and blood. The Nantinak is a little more supernatural, a little more ethereal. The Supaig began to speak of it during the early days of Portlock settlement, and the legend persisted as strange things continued to pervade the town of Portlock. Residents did leave every so often due to these events, but most stayed, and this would continue until 1949. In 1949, almost overnight, every resident left Portlock. It was a mass exodus that left the town empty aside from the postmaster, who would then follow suit in 1950.
Why did it take him so long to?
Because it's a government post. He
That
can't just leave.
actually. Yeah, that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Some say the residents fled under the cover of darkness, hoping to not be noticed. Either way, the once thriving cannery town was now left abandoned. Since then, nearby residents in Nawalek have worked to maintain the land near it, but it has sat empty, except for the occasional traveler passing through. Melania Kell, whose family fled when she was a very young child, has been a large source of information for Portlock and its abandonment. She states very clearly that the legends and stories are true, and Portlock was abandoned due to the fear of its residents. However, in recent years, her story has come under fire since her cousin, Sally Ash, has come out to say that Melania just made the whole thing up. Melania just wants attention, according to her cousin. The town of Portlock was abandoned due to economic hardship, and the residents generational stutter, and the residents left seeking better opportunities. Therefore, the entire story of Portlock should be discarded, right? There's a little more to it. Because when I heard about the whole Sally Ash thing, I was like, oh, well, obviously.
Yeah.
If she's saying that the one verifiable source that we have is making it up, then she's making it up, right?
Yeah.
But she's not our only source.
Okay.
People just, you just have to dig, find them. For one, Sally Ash never denies the existence of Nantinak. She says her people, who were semi nomadic and often passed through Portlock after 1949, were indeed afraid of Nantinak. She was told not to go out on foggy days and to stay out of the woods for fear of the monster. Further, Melania turns out to not be the only source on Portlock. In April of 1973, the Anchorage Daily News reported a story by Robert J. Dolezal concerning the town of Portlock. Dolezal was not some controversial author either. He was best known for his writings on the outdoors and his various travel guides. He wrote that while traveling via boat, him and his companion had stopped in Portlock to get out of some bad weather. Despite describing the town as empty, he said they felt watched. The next day, they reached Nanwalek, where they stayed with a schoolteacher. Upon mentioning they had stopped in Portlock, the teacher and his wife both told them that they had heard stories of Portlock, and they described the town as not right. Those stories included bodies in the lagoon, disappearances in the woods, and various other things that Melania had also reported in 2009 when she went public with her story.
Okay.
And this was in 1973 that this guy's hearing it. In addition, her claim of the previous abandonment of Portlock in 1905 is confirmed by more than one newspaper in Alaska. Even if Melania had added some embellishments to her story or filled in gaps with things she made up, maybe Sally just wants to cover the entire story up, as the Supeg people are Native Alaskans who don't really speak about this kind of stuff to outsiders.
which that's like the case with a lot of native and
Hmm.
indigenous tribes.
Yeah. So it's possible that Sally just doesn't want people to take this seriously because it's part of their culture and they don't want it out.
Which would make sense.
That makes sense considering what the white folk have done with the flesh pedestrian.
Hmm.
Yeah. Now we have pictures of the creepy pasta the rake, and people are going, "Oh, it's a flesh." Nah, girl, that's not what that is at all.
No.
Or the Windy boy.
Yep. And I'm
There's
in his prime area for hunting.
and it's winter.
Hmm.
You ever try to tell a white man not to say those names out loud in the middle of winter? What's the first thing they do?
Say it.
They start saying that shit. Daryl's no better. I said, Daryl, you're native. What are you doing? They're
Literally.
gonna come here. He's like, no, no, they won't. They're not real. I said, I said, this is the oppressor speaking.
I just, because we've even mentioned it, I'm just gonna.
Right, and I don't blame you.
You can keep going.
So, what happened in Portlock? There's a really good chance that we'll never know unless some kind of new evidence comes to light. Whether the residents fled economic hardship or abuse in the woods, the town of Portlock will certainly live on in infamy. But, as always, what do you guys think? What do you think? Do we believe Melania? Do we not believe her? Do we think that it's a mix of both?
I think it's a
Because I'll give
mix
you
of
my
both.
thoughts.
I feel like it's a mix of both.
That's how I feel too.
I feel like she's being truthful about what's happening, but I do believe that like there's some stuff that is trying to be covered up as well. And so there's like people doubting like her truth, whereas other
Right.
people are trying to cover it up.
I think that she is being most entirely truthful to the best of her ability because she was a very young child when
Yeah.
they fled Portlock. And so some of the stuff she probably wouldn't remember of her own accord. Some of it's probably been told to her by other people. And some of the stuff that she does remember, just like from seeing with her own eyes or hearing with her own ears or whatever, word about town, she was a small child.
Yeah.
Her memory's not going to be perfect.
Yeah.
But the fact that we have a pretty reputable guy in the 1970s telling us that he spoke with people in Nonwellic that had this story already, like people were talking, the people in Nonwellic were talking about it.
Yeah.
And that makes sense because a lot of the residents of Portlock they fled to areas like Nonwellic. But also, I think that not only is it a mix of her telling the truth with maybe a few embellishments there, and maybe the Supag people don't really want that story out, and I don't blame them. But I think also there is probably an element of economic hardship. Like
Yeah.
maybe the fear was probably almost certainly present. There was weird stuff happening, but maybe it wouldn't have been enough for them to outright leave their home if they weren't also going through economic hardship.
Yeah.
Like I think it's probably both. Like one of them is the straw that broke the camel's back.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
That's the story of Portlock. It's the only case I could really find in all my. It's really the only one I've heard in all my years, except for one other story where they're like, Bigfoot is out here killing people. Bigfoot's usually just blurry,
Yeah.
but in this one, he's potentially killed. Although technically, it's not Bigfoot, right? It's the Nantanak.
Yeah.
But in order for people who are not familiar with, you know, Supag and Aleutian stuff, may as well just call him Bigfoot. It's pretty similar, and it
Yeah.
gets the point across.
I was not ready for Bigfoot to be in here.
Yeah, no one expects Bigfoot.
No one ever does.
You're in the woods, you don't expect to see Bigfoot. I expect to see Bigfoot, but that's because I'm me.
In the town that you currently live in, I remember being like, I don't know, 15, and there were like 7 reported sightings of
Oh yeah.
Bigfoot, and they were all in the newspaper, and I remember reading through them, and I
Do you think
was,
that they were just crackheads
I,
reporting this, or do you think they saw a crackhead?
I know some people and some, areas down there that I wouldn't be surprised if there were government things that involved Bigfoot or of some.
Right. I think we've discussed something similar before.
So I wouldn't be too shocked if it really was.
Can you hear my cat screaming?
I heard it once and thought it was my cat.
No, I don't know which cat this is, but they are right outside the door and they're having a conniption.
I
I
could
think
hear
it's
it.
Naruto. Yeah, I
I
think
heard
it's
it
Naruto.
once and I was like,
Naruto, you're gonna live.
but my audience member didn't react, and my audience member has been obsessed with my cat since they've been here. So since they didn't get up and to go to the door, I assumed it wasn't mine.
Right. Right. I don't know what'll happen if I open the store. Hang on. Podcast is about to find out what'll happen if I open this door. Oh no. Oh dear. Mm.
A deer, a doe, a deer, a female
Come on.
deer, Ray, a drop
Come
of
on.
sun.
We're gonna get copyrighted now.
He
Come on. You wanna come in?
looks
Just
so
a cool
grumpy.
Hi. You want me to hold you?
Does not look like he does.
I think I might have a buddy up here for the rest of the podcast, perhaps. He really likes this chair. He loves this chair, actually. Yeah, you like this chair? He likes the way it feels on his claws.
That's fair.
Yeah. Oh, that's all I have this week. So,
I really liked
do
that.
you
I
have anything?
was I was so not ready for Bigfoot.
Yeah.
Bigfoot threw me for a
Yep.
loop.
He's staring at the balloon, dude.
I see that.
He wants it so bad. You want to be my thumbnail? Say no. I want that damn balloon. Don't jump trying to get that balloon. Oh, he's gonna jump trying to get the balloon. Oh, this is gonna be bad.
So what you do is you record it and then I'll make it the outro.
So,
It's good.
well,
It's just gonna be zoomed in on him.
well, thank you. He's probably gonna be my thumbnail, honestly. When I make the thumbnail, I'm gonna try
He,
to get him on the chair.
it shouldn't be too hard. He was pretty much in frame for it.
He's looking at me like, help me. No, I don't want you to get that balloon. I just wanted you to jump to see that you couldn't. No, do not jump through my string lights.
Well, that is that on that, y'all.
Join us next week. Sage will have another great episode for us. If I do say so myself, that our episodes are great.
Our episodes are
Um,
always amazing.
right. So come back next week. Thank you for joining us this week, and we hope you guys have a wonderful week till we see you again.